Well, we're out here celebrating Parking Day. This particular installation is a collaborative between the South Carolina chapter of American Society of Landscape Architects and also the City of Columbia. And what we're doing here is celebrating urban space. We're reclaiming parking spaces, turning them into parklets, games, whatever. You bring awareness to how much parking there is in the city and what other things can be done to kind of inject some green space throughout the downtown area. Our particular display, we have a photo booth to encourage public interaction. We're handicap accessible. We have the green turf, which is representative of grass. And in reality, you know, if we had a parklet, we'd want it to be grass. And we have the plants to kind of soften the edge, the urban edge, bring you into our space. And we also have some games over here behind you, checkers set up on the ground. And then, of course, the benches to encourage the public to come in and sit down and just hang out for a little while.
Palmetto Conservation Foundation is actually the nonprofit responsible for the Palmetto Trail in South Carolina. So that's our Mountains to Sea Trail. It runs all the way from Walhalla down to Awendaw. So it's really natural for us to want to get involved with anything that's kind of conservation based. Our mission is definitely conservation. We like to preserve the outdoors, but also historical sites throughout South Carolina. So our Palmetto Trail is actually our effort to connect some of those very historic and cultural spots throughout the state. Our Capital City Passage actually incorporates the State House steps, which is right behind you right now. So that's one of the reasons why we definitely wanted to be close to the State House. But any initiative to kind of get people outdoors and enjoying public spaces in a really positive way is something we want to be a part of. As far as South Carolina AmeriCorps and the Commission on Community Service, we thought this would be a really great opportunity to kind of raise awareness on the opportunities we have in South Carolina to participate in those kinds of activities.
Parking Day is a great time to showcase how we can use spaces on the street for people instead of for cars. You know, as you look around to the streets of Columbia, you might not realize it, but there's a lot of asphalt out there. There's a lot of pavement out there, and what Parking Day is to show people that you can use it for recreation and all these other purposes. Our committee, the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee, we're constantly looking for ways in Columbia to improve bicycle and pedestrian access in this city. So crosswalks, intersections, street lights, bike lanes, we're advocating for that strongly on behalf of City Council to try to get improvements to Columbia.
Parking Day, I think it's a really great opportunity to kind of spend time as a community, get people outside for lunch, of a way to unwind on a Friday before you start your weekend, and it's a way to interact with your community members that you might not do that on a typical day. It's taking public parking spaces and turning them into public community spaces.
The point that we're trying to make here is that cars take up an enormous amount of our precious downtown space. This is space where people could be walking or interacting. You know it when you enjoy it at festivals or at parks. You know that experience that you really like, and then you forget that our city is really a lot of just pavement and parking lot spaces that are just for cars. And so we're really trying to advocate things like biking and pedestrian, walking, taking the Comet, other ways to get around the city so that we can free up those parking spaces for things that we can time to enjoy.